Okay, so I'm going to show you an easy way to do the G-shaped diatonic using the string shapes, and that is every other letter in cage. So we got G shape, 6, 7 root, G, skip E, okay, go to D, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's D, skip C and go to A, 5, 6. This is in G now, so 5, 6 is D, E, okay. Skip G and go to E shape. There's our 7 we can't get. The lone wolf 7, 7 root 2. So that's it. We can't get it. It's right here if there's a fret not here. So what do? We use this S3XL pattern that we got. It's the long pattern, and that'll give us the 7. And let's just review for a second where we got S3XL from. In the cage ladder, what I was just doing, starting from G, I was doing from G. I went G, and then I went to E, but I skipped E. And then I went to D, and then I went to, but I skipped C, and I went to A. Okay, then I skipped the G again, and I went and found the lone wolf 7 right there. So what we do with the cage ladder is, out of this wonderful pattern, we're going to recognize and focus on these 9 notes. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to use that pattern to get these guys to the right, over to the right. Well, that's what's going on. Okay, so before we get to B, which is going to be fun, now it's going to be fun now that we're doing G. So what we do is we start our regular G shape with G shaped string shapes. The G is always going to be right there, 6, 7 root. Why? Because E is the 6th of G. Whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it'd actually be way down here. So it'd be, there's your low E. Becomes the 6th of G. That's why 6, 7 root is the bottom string of the G diatonic scale, or actually that's Aeolian, because it starts on 6. Aeolian is the scale that starts on 6. Okay, that was a low Aeolian. That was this guy right here. So then we go to the D shape. Okay, but now when we go to the A shape, remember D goes to A because it goes cage, G, E, D, C, A, G. So at the A, we're going to peel out. We're going to transform those two patterns, A and the bottom string of the S3XL 5, 6, 7. We're going to like warp right into that 5, 6, 7. We're not really warping. We're just going to sink right into it. So it's G shape, D shape, A shape becomes an S3XL. Okay, and that gives us the 5, 6. There's our lone wolf 7 now. We're okay with the A shape, but now we have the 7 over here. Continue on the pattern, root 2, 3. You might as well. Now, the problem is, continuing the pattern, take it up on the warp 4, 5, 6 if you like, and you've finished the pattern. You've gone 5, 6 to 5, 6. From there you're in the A shape again. Take it out on the E shape. So one thing to remember, if you want to remember something, hey, give me something to remember, give me something to believe in here. Say, I will, because I just figured this out. I kind of reckoned with this idea last night, okay, and that's when I found out maybe this isn't too much for somebody to remember. Of Going into the X3XL pattern, you take a D shape. A D shape will take you into it, because remember, D shape's 2, 3, 4. And then coming out of the X3XL pattern with the 4, 5, 6, that's warped over one, we take the E shape. I'm going to show you that over by the over on the so this is an older drawing, and it shows starting with the S3XL. Here's your X3XL, okay, right here. All right. The D shape goes into the X3XL. Okay, there's your D shape right there going into the X3XL, and coming out of an X3XL, the one that we started down here arbitrarily. Because remember, you could start it from a D shape, you can even start it from a G shape. Because we got to catch that lone wolf 7 with the G shape. Okay, and that's one string below the warp string. And that's where you catch the same note, one string below it. So coming out of the S3XL, we go into an E shape. The D shape goes into the X3XL. So there it is. So if I have a G shape here, a 6, 7 root, G shape, skip E shape and go to D shape, 2, 3, 4. D shape takes me into X3XL, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up, 5, 6 rings a bell. A, skip G and go to an E shape, 7, root 2. But if you just do it like, remembering D goes into the long pattern, E comes out of it, it sounds more like this. Alright, a little risky. I like thinking about what I'm doing more so I can connect with the 5, 6 as an A pattern. That's a genuine A pattern there, Going into, taking the D into the S3XL, a genuine A pattern. It's another way of looking at it, how to start an S3XL. Just get to a 5, 6 and sink into the pattern from there. So that's even easier to remember. All you got to remember is it starts with an A pattern and ends with an A pattern, like AA. Now let's spend a couple of minutes on our friend the B pattern. Now, as it turns out, I did all the different possibilities here. So we had, of course, we have E, we have A, we have D, we have G. But we also have the B string, and they just happen to follow the strings. No, a coincidence, yes, but not a coincidence as if this didn't happen for any reason. It is meaningful. So the B string, what happens is the E, if we start a B way down here, okay, our E, our low E becomes the 4th now. Okay, so the B becomes the 4th. So that's only the top part of that S3XL. Remember, it's a 3 pattern. That's why it's called S3XL. And it's the top string of that. So there's your 5, 6. You come right out of it. So just run your pattern, because what's going to happen? What's going to happen if you don't use the long pattern? You're going to end up having to do the B in the usual place. See, let me show you what happens. If you have E up here, way up here, okay, you get usually an E shape, an A shape, and a C shape, okay? So I have E here. I have, actually not way up here, right here. Okay, so I have E shape. We're going to take this into the next segment, okay? So I'm going to show you how the E, A, and then the C goes down into the unplayable, and how we'd have no choice but to play an A shape B.